With so many great indie titles launching over the past few months, it's already been a busy time for Switch fans. And now with the release of Hades 2 on Nintendo Switch 2, that month just got even busier. I was aware of the release date, but I tried my best to stay away from any previews or spoilers. I played a fair bit of the first Hades, so I wanted to experience this sequel as fresh as possible and see just how much has changed. And of course, this comes to us from Supergiant Games, the same studio that gave us the original masterpiece. So let's talk about what's new, what's familiar, and whether Hades 2 lives up to its name. First things first, this is still very much Hades. At its core, it's the same fast-paced action roguelite where every run pushes you forward just a little bit more. The genre hook is unchanged. You fight your way through procedurally generated encounters, die, grow stronger, and try again. And just like before, your overall goal isn't just survival. It's progression, learning enemy patterns, mastering builds, and uncovering story bits as you inch closer toward escaping the Underworld. One of the first big changes I noticed comes from the characters. In Hades 1, the standout was always the voice acting and sharp writing. That's still here, every character feels distinct and memorable. But in Hades 2, the portraits and designs have been pushed even further. The art is more detailed, the expressions are more nuanced, and it feels like Supergiant took extra care to make each god, ally, and enemy come alive. Combined with the voice work, the cast feels even more immersive and adds more weight to the world.
Enclosures wherein all their psyche may be drained. Can you?
That's terrible. I hadn't realized the pylons worked that way. Though who keeps fixing them? You even have one here.
The hideous thing won't seem to go away. Keeps rematerializing practically each night. Though I get so caught up with all my cauldron work, I seldom pay it any heed.
But it's not just about dungeon crawling this time. Hades 2 puts a stronger emphasis on collecting resources and crafting systems. You're not just grabbing darkness or keys, now you're gathering materials that let you upgrade weapons, brew incantations, and unlock powerful new abilities. These upgrades feel more layered than before. Each run gives you a reason to explore different routes, since finding the right materials might be just as important as clearing another room. It gives the game a slightly different rhythm compared to Hades 1. Less about raw survival and more about planning and building over time. This also ties into one of my favorite changes. The hub, or home base, has been expanded in Hades 2. Instead of just being a place to regroup, now you can unlock additional sections, upgrade your incantations, and even use resources for farming and crafting. It feels more alive and more connected to your progress. And then there are little surprises layered in. For example, eventually Artemis will occasionally show up at camp and start playing a song for everyone. What's really neat is that Melinoe can join in and her voice just flows naturally into the performance. The sound design here is crisp and is such a small but meaningful touch that makes the world feel that much more alive.
You will come here and save the Silver Sisters wait. Moonlight guide you home.
Another major difference is the way the game lets you choose your path. In Hades 1, your journey was linear. You started at the bottom and worked your way up. In Hades 2, you can actually decide your direction. You can transcend upward toward Mount Olympus, where looming war is brewing, or descend deeper into the Underworld to face Kronos, the Titan of Time. This branching progression adds a whole new layer of decision making. It's not just about what weapon or boom you take into battle. It's about choosing the battlefield itself, and that makes every run feel that much more engaging. Now let's quickly talk about performance, because for a game like this it really matters. Hades 2 is rated to run at 1080p both dock and handheld, and it looks fantastic in either mode. The real difference comes when you're docked to a TV that supports 120Hz. The game still runs at 60 frames per second when playing handheld, but with the higher refresh rate when docked, inputs feel noticeably smoother and more responsive. And for a game like this where every dodge, dash, and spell requires split-second decision, that small boost makes a big difference. Visually, the game shines in both modes. Colors are rich and vibrant, and the artwork practically glows on the Switch 2's display. Each environment pops with detail, and every character radiates with their own personality through the wonderfully whimsical animations. Whether it's Melinoe's graceful casting movements or the gods' expressive portraits, everything feels sharper and more alive than ever. Personally, I noticed I had more control over Melinoe while playing dock, inputs just felt tighter, and I was more confident in my runs. That's not to say handheld feels bad, far from it. Handheld looks gorgeous, it's sharp, and it's still smooth at 60 FPS. But if you're going for a serious run, dock might be the way to go, especially if you got the setup to take advantage of the 120Hz option. So overall, if you loved Hades, you're going to feel right at home with Hades 2. The core gameplay is still the same razor-sharp roguelike action, but the expanded character designs, deeper progression systems, the branching paths, and the more fleshed out hub make it feel like a true evolution. It's familiar, but with enough new layers to make you rethink how you approach each run. And on Switch 2, it just might be the best way to experience it on the go. If escaping the Underworld was tough, deciding between Chronos and Olympus makes it even tougher. What do you think of Hades 2 so far? Are you diving right in, or are you still working through Hades 1? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoy these first impressions on Switch 2 games, don't forget to subscribe for more.